Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, good morning and welcome to the program this morning. Yes, this is Bystanders at the Newsstand. Sorry that we're starting late. We had so much to contend with, this morning. We thank God that we have overcome the challenges that we are facing this morning. I'm Christian Chuku. I will say a big welcome to the program this morning. Sorry for starting late. Today is the 7th of July, 2022, and we are having our analysts here this morning as they come and give their position on the reports and the topical issues that we have this morning. With me is the Daily Independent, and also we have the Nation newspaper. Let's start with the Nation newspaper this morning. Kuje prison, 64 Boko Haram suspects escape after attack. 64 Boko Haram suspects escape after attack. Don't forget, over 500 are at large. 500 have escaped at large. But some reports that we have, the 100 out of that 500, over 500, has been recaptured. Iswap claims responsibility. I'm disappointed in intelligence system, says Buhari. Yes, the president he says that he is disappointed and also shocked at the intelligence system. Abakari Dariye Inyami others safe. Abakari Dariye Inyami others safe. Some people were surprised that Abakari and some other high-profile convicts did not escape from the prison. Let's look at other federal government. Petrol scarcity will linger until full deregulation. Petrol scarcity will linger until we have full deregulation. Yes, unless the oil sector is fully deregulated, fuel scarcity will remain a norm in the country. The federal government hinted yesterday. Also, the government admitted that the soaring price of cooking gas was beyond its control. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipriye Silva, stated this just as the Nigeria Labour Congress said Nigeria imports fuel far more than it needs. Bankindo was a national asset, former secretary of OPEC. He died, and this is one of the comments on him. He was a national asset as Buhari mourns his death. Abductors again threaten to kill train attack victims. Abductors again threaten to kill train attack victims. One of the ministers of the president, Umana, he says, I will make a difference. I will make a difference. He has like 8 to 7 months to make this difference. Renegotiated agreement, we have done our part. Federal government delaying reopening of universities. Renegotiated agreement, we have done our part. The federal government delaying reopening of universities, that is from ASU. Again, federal government accused marketers of orchestrating fuel crisis. Federal government accused marketers of orchestrating fuel crisis. APC VP candidates, Tinubu stock between El-Rufai and Shetima. Tinubu stock between El-Rufai and Shetima. The main headline, Jailbreak, Buhari queries security structure at Kuje prison. Expresses shock at level of destruction. 4 dead, 4.3 inmates recaptured. DCP Abakiari, other VIP still in custody as Iswap claims the responsibility. Buhari reshuffles cabinet, swears in 7 ministers. Federal government targets 720 billion naira from board insurance. Yes, court grants Okorocha permission. Court grants Okorocha permission to travel abroad for Medicare as 2 die in below. I have Mr. Matthew. Come on, Mr. Matthew. Buhari says that he's querying the structure, the security structure at Kuje prison.
Thank you for having me, Matthew's in him. I think it's an indictment on his own office because, however I look at it, he's the president and the commander of the armed forces. So the buck rests with him. If you see success in the security arrangements, I think he takes the credit. When there's breach of security of this nature, Mr. President should take the larger share.
Or the National Security Advisor, because that Kuje is under his own command.
Kuje prison is directly under the supervision of the National Security Advisor, and the National Security Advisor is answerable to reports to Mr. President. Not just the National Security Advisor, all the 7 heads report to the National Security Advisor, who in turn report to Mr. President. So generally speaking, the buck rests with him. So when you see failure on the part of any security arrangement in Nigeria, is an indictment on the office of Mr. President, who have failed. Because if you look at how they were able to compromise the security at that Kuje prison, you agree with me that Nigeria is in for a big trouble. Because for what we are seeing, they are supposed to have about 167 security operatives drawn from different security agencies, the army, the DSS, the police, and all that, who are supposed to be managing security at that facility. Apart from that, they were supposed to have about 2 armored personnel carriers to repel such attack, in addition to CCTV cameras that were supposed to be used to mass surveillance. So, and if you look at the allegation that they wrote on about 300 motorcycle bikes, you see, it is an indictment on the whole security arrangement in Abuja. Because if they wrote on, let's say just 50, not even 300, how come they were able to move from state to state without not being intercepted by any police at any checkpoint, any military at any checkpoint before they got to the venue of the attack? So for me, it boils down to failure of leadership. Because if you are looking at actionable intelligence, it's even telling you that the criminals, the terrorists are having more actionable intelligence than the Nigerian government.
They are having more actionable intelligence.
Because from what we are hearing, from what we are reading, they knew the direction of their members in that facility. And they made to the direction the section containing their members. And according to what we are reading, they were calling their names. So it means they have actionable intelligence, and it paid off in the operation.
There's complicity in the rank of the federal government.
There's an allegation that the federal government is complicit in terms of the personnel. You can't put that out. Because otherwise, how come about 167 personnel who are supposed to be on ground didn't engage them? No matter their number, if you have up to 167 personnel drawn from army, police, DSS, would have registered significant engagement, confrontation, before we see that maybe they were overpowered. But again, I think it has exposed Nigeria as a weak state.
Under Buhari.
You may call it under Buhari, Nigeria as an entity. Because if you look at the train attack, their demand was that they should release their members who are in custody. And these people were in Kuje prison. So by implication, they have succeeded in coming for a rescue mission of their own commanders.
That the federal government cannot do.
That the federal government could not do to rescue Nigerians who are in captivity in kidnappers then. And if you look at what is happening, it has exposed the whole issue of security lapses, and it has exposed Nigerian state as a weak state. And again, if you look at the issue of Iswap, Boko Haram, Fulani herdsmen, I think everything is crystallizing towards one direction. That a good number of what you see, whether the government want to change the narrative, whether the government wants us to believe that they are Iswap, they are Boko Haram, they are whatever the government wants to make us believe, it is pointing to the one direction that most of the crime we are seeing in Nigeria is being perpetrated by Fulani herdsmen. Why am I saying so? Shegumi have said it the other time that what the government call bandits, that these are Fulani herdsmen who claim their car have been ransomed, they now take it as an excuse to take to crime. Don't forget that the other time, federal government was in a haste to tag the perpetrators of our incidents as Iswap. A situation that did not go down well with the governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, who said that if it were to be Iswap, that Iswap is known to claim responsibility for any action they do. And if you look at what just happened, it tells you that Akeredolu have been vindicated. Because look at the sweetness with which Iswap claimed responsibility, not just claiming responsibility, but releasing the video to that effect. So for me, I think that shows that federal government were in a haste to tag Iswap as being responsible for the incident. Then again, if you look at the statement that was coming from the Nigerian government, they were even in a rush to even say it was Boko Haram. I know whether Iswap or Boko Haram, they are all terrorists. But why did government know? Why are they always in a haste to make wrong decision? Because hence, Iswap have come out to take claim responsibility. You cannot start arguing whether it's Iswap or not, because the footage of the incidents, they are releasing it. So for me, I think we didn't start saying it today, that the security arrangement in Nigeria have failed.
Okay, from the body language of the president, what's your take? What do you take out from the body language?
It's unfortunate that the body language of the president is not likely going to bring any solution, because in Nigeria is a country where there is no consequence for failure. There is no consequence for dereliction of duty, for negligence of duty. If there were consequence, when Mr. President asked the then chief of army staff, Brutal, to relocate to Maiduguri until Boko Haram is completely subdued. Boko Haram was metamorphosed into Iswap, Banditry, and Sadu and other splinter groups under the watch of Brutal. And we didn't see any consequence for that action, his negligence of duty. So even if Mr. President is showing that he's displeased with the statement that came from Mr. President, Mr. President is not known to take action when there's issues of such negligence. Otherwise, we saw when Babachir Lawal was indicted by the Senate under the leadership of Saraki. Mr. President was reluctant to act. He took Osibanjo to act as president before he took action that saw Babachir Lawal being fired. As we speak, it's not on record that the 3 policemen that went on their line of legmate duty that were killed by Nigerian military personnel. I'm confident to say by a panel. Is there any indication? So what is the character? Whether Mr. President jet out of the country or not is not the issue. What I'm saying in essence is Mr. President's position that is displeased with the Kuje prison attack is not surprising, and we are not likely going to see solution even as he's displeased. Is it on record that the other day his advanced team that went to his home state, Katsina, there was an attack, and the record is not even straightforward, because on one hand we are seeing some report that the assistant commissioner of police that was killed is part of the advanced team. On the other hand, we are hearing that it is a police team that went into the forest to combat the bandits. But I think there's something we are taking out of this. What they call bandits, what they call Iswap, what they call Boko Haram, I think we are beginning to understand that they are Fulani herdsmen. So it's not by coincidence that global terrorism they say that Fulani herdsmen are 4th most dangerous terrorist organization in the world. Because whether we like it or not, Shia Gumi have said it, that these people they call bandits, They are Fulani herdsmen.
Okay, we have done our part for federal government delaying in reopening of varsities. That is from ASU.
I believe ASU have done its part.
Yes, sir.
I believe they have done their part. All this while, we have always fought the position of federal government because the reason is not far-fetched. If you have your children schooling here, what happened in our educational system will concern you. But a situation where average Nigerian politician will not have their children schooling here, they will pay lip service to the development of the educational sector. And here we are talking about human capital development. That has to do with the skill, the knowledge, and experience that is needed to drive all the areas of economy. And federal government is playing hanky-panky with it. Anyway, I'm not expecting Mr. President to do anything more than what he has done. We're only praying that God guide us and let's Buhari hand over to incoming president.
Okay, APC VP candidacy lastly. Tinubu stuck between El-Rufai and Shettima. Muslim.
He can stop between anybody, but what I'm saying is, if he's picking a Muslim running mate, it's unacceptable. It doesn't matter the opinion of anybody as far as I'm concerned, as an individual. For me, if he's choosing a Muslim running mate, it is unacceptable. It's unacceptable because the constitution is very clear that when you give a position, it has to reflect geographical spread.
Okay.
And you must do it in such a way that it does you balance it both in terms of religion, both in terms of ethnicity and all that. So it's entrenched in the constitution. It's not a matter of doing anybody any favor. And if you look at the belief in some quarters, that the Christians are already being persecuted. And if you look at what is happening in Southern Kaduna, what is happening in even what happened in Owo, and even the position of the federal government, recently going by the statement that came from the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, that Iswap targets Christians. So if you now see a government, a party that wants to go into a general election that is scheming Christians out of the major two positions, I think it calls for concern.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Matthew, thanks for your patience. I have Mr. Samuel. Mr. Chubu, Mr. Samuel is here this morning. You have been asking of Mr. Samuel. Good morning, Mr. Samuel.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Christian.
Yes,
it's been long.
Yeah, it's been long.
Yes, my name is Samuel Effiong. So I'm a mutual friend
like this, that
Christian of Facebook.
Nigerians are facing persecution, and we see our president. Look at the Iswap, the attack on Kuje prison. Let's look at the body language of the presidency, not even the president, the presidency.
Well, on behalf of the Nigerian youth, the jobless Nigerians, those who have died in Lekki Toll, and those who have witnessed one form of marginalization, brutalization, and the parochial system in Nigeria, we hereby condemn the attack on the presidential convoy, and we are telling Mr. President that Nigeria is safe, the North is safe, and Daura is safe like any other part of the country, just like the way it has always been safe under this presidency.
Nigeria is not safe.
Well, the instances is factual, yes, you're right. But in their tone of presidential speeches, so I'm giving them that we condemn such attack and we indulge Mr. President to go about his normal duties because the perpetrators will be brought to book.
I'm surprised at this narration of yours.
No, I'm just telling you that.
You're expressing shock over what happened.
No, we are in shock, just like I said. But at the same time, we are also condemning the attack, and we are telling Mr. President to go about his daily duties. And the Daura, just like the northern part and the southern part of Nigeria, is safe. So Mr. President should not be bothered. The perpetrators.
Consistent. This is consistent every week.
It will be. But you see, because the shock absorber we are using is fault. So the president is always in shock. So we also condemn. We are also in shock. Members of the Youth Council of Nigeria and the jobless youth that have been marginalized by the system. I'm also in shock. So, but whichever way it comes, we also condemn the attack. And
somebody must do something.
Yes, the same thing. We are doing something.
Like, take action.
Yeah, we've condemned the action.
No, after condemning them, was there an action?
Yes, that's why I said if you listen to the speech that the perpetrators will be brought to book. Mr. President should go about his normal duties. The country is safe under him.
I don't think the country is safe.
Oh, you don't think? But the presidential statements that have been dished out in several killings over the years, in about 7 years, has always been mere condemnation that the country is safe, the perpetrators will be brought to book. So I'm giving it to him.
You said Buhari queries security structure at Kuje prison.
The Buhari cannot query anything. He does not remember anything. This president has a professorate degree in not knowing anything. So he should rather be in his shock as a result of age and dementia technicalities that he's passing through. The president will never know anything. He has always not been knowing anything. So the presidency, just like me, we are in shock.
Okay, are you not still shocked that Iswap is rescuing Boko Haram?
We are still in shock. Because, I mean, well, there's no light. The small power that they generate, they've used it to shock the citizens. So we are in shock, just like the president. If your leader is in shock, how much more? I'm in a shocker state. I'm in shock too. Just like the president. The presidency that is the GCF or Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria controls the army, controls the navy, controls the air force, the NSCDC, the DSS, SSS, whichever name you decide. The presidency that controls the mobile police and every other thing, the prison, the custom, the immigration, name it, he's in shock. See, madness is a norm in this part of the world.
If he's in shock, why has he has jet out to Senegal? He's in Senegal now. Why your house is burning?
Because they've attacked him. He need to rest somewhere. Ekwere Madu, former DSP, went to UK. So they've always been traveling to Sena climbs or where they can hide and relax and service their old blood and their sports Nigerian use engine so that they will repair some part and they will come back and still always be in shock. They don't know, is there anything this presidency has always known? They don't know anything. So he's always in shock. When he comes back from this trip, maybe by next month, the man is a fantastic tourist activist. The man is enjoying this presidency with his tour. And that is the painful part. And do you know the worrisome part is those who encourage us and told us so many good things about this presidency. I haven't seen this performance. Are coming back to still say, oh, we are the ones, as if they really done so well with this party. If this party has performed, nobody will be looking for any other force. Nobody throws away his first team. Real Madrid, football, have their first team delivering, collect by Champions League back to back. Nobody threw those first team away. So if this party has performed, just like the horrible friends, that's why they can decamp APC and PDP are less than and equals to the same thing. So that's why you can see them. So when you listen to what I say is just sit down, take your time, listen to their candidate. That's why they hide them from radio interview. That's why they hide them from TV. How many of them can they confront Shehu or Kimbaloy? Shehu is even small. Can they confront Rufai on logical engagement of national issues? Even the one that they prepare speech for them, they forget. They go there and say rubbish. Agbado, 5 million youth, cassava. Even China, with over 1 billion population, does not have up to 5 million army.
Not up to 3 million.
No, their population of the army is around 1 point something million. With 1 point something billion population. Even India. So when you look at them, the point is their vision? No. We have a dead system. And the future after 2023 will be worrisome than what we have now. Is a dead system. So 2023 is dead. Future is false. So there's no point to come and say, what is the future? How will Nigeria get to be in the next 10 years? You're a madman to ask that kind of question because it is what you do now you're going to get in the next future. What we did in 2014 is what we're getting in 2023. So what we are going to do in 2023, we're going to get in 2030. 2031 will be the next 8 years. So there's no point for you to now say, what is the next future going to look like? The future is already here. When you listen to people, you check their intellectual consciousness, you check how they address key issues. Does those issues relate to what you are passing through? Just like how they hide some people in 2014. People that cannot mention the name of their vice presidency. People that cannot stand and tell you that, okay, if I become the president, I haven't seen Egypt electric power, Namibia generated. Do you know how many 1,000 megawatts that Namibia generates in terms of electricity? Do you know how many 1,000 megawatts South Africa generates? We are not going to Europe. We will stay in Africa and we'll solve the madness of Nigeria in Africa. See, you just take a walk to South Africa. Peter Obi is doing a very nice job in terms of his research analysis. But it's not only Peter Obi that have done this thing. Namibia, South Africa, Egypt, Morocco, Rwanda, even Mauritius in Africa. Go and check their population to the generation of electricity. It takes a leader that wants to understand the solving of problem. Only one trip, you don't solve the whole problem.
But what do you have? A set of parochial traditional people who feel that it is their right, they must always be in power, irrespective of what the people are experiencing. So they use ethnicity, money politics, even when it's glaring that the person is the worst. He does not have the technical initiative, he does not have the educational capacity, he does not have the foresight, he does not have the economic and security, he doesn't even have the political will. The reason why the last election presidential debate was sweet was because Oshibaju is more enlightened and a learned fellow that engage Obi. See, this debate, now one-way debate. Who won the debate? All those ones, they hide for public interview. On a normal day, if you allow them to talk for 5 minutes, they will start saying rubbish. Because by age, they've started thinking in another realm. That is why you see a presidential candidate and go to Delta, a president or President Muhammadu Buhari. He's on channels, internet don't lie. And was raising the hand of a governorship candidate and was calling it a presidential candidate. He was the presidential candidate in 2019. So it's not about abusing, it's just age, it's natural. When you're about 70, 80 plus, most of them use football age. When they tell you 70, add something to it. Naturally, you can't remember some things. That's why in the bank, it is when you finish university from the age of, and how is that country like? Well, we are talking about, you can't compare US to Nigeria. You see, there is what is called philosophy in philosophy, metito principi, abandoning a system and a subject of conversation based on its merit. Then you are not looking for, now if you are going to give me a Buhari, I'm going to tell you that, give me the kind of system America offers. In America, they don't pick money, oil money from South and share to the center to be sharing to state. So you don't pick an isolation that will favor some biased traditional ethnic sentiment. If you want to pick America, you pick it wholeheartedly. Then we analyze America as a political system. You are talking about Joe Biden. See, Joe Biden is brilliant than most of our young politicians. He's sound, he can engage. Trump was 70-something. Trump was tweeting on social media. Why is he not 70-something? Can he tweet? Can he engage and talk, erect, stand for 10 to 10 minutes like Trump? So there are some countries whereby 80 years old man is better than some people in Nigeria with 70 years. Because in the true sense, those people have the technical efficiency. They have the technology. They have the system. They have a well-educated. See, Trump is not somebody you'll be looking for a certificate. So educationally is sound. And go and watch Trump. Can you compare Buhari? You see, when people come and talk, the argument you're pushing forward, the people you're arguing with, what is their level of understanding about international politics? You don't pick an isolated to score a political, traditional, or ethnic bias. You look at the situation in whole. See, Trump as a president wanted to do some things. The House, the Senate, which automatically, if it was in Nigerian case, that it has always happened, we took a long party line. Some of the people in Republican went against him. But what do we have here? So you can't compare that system that is God. That's why you hear America. They will tell you in God we trust. God bless the United States of America. Because it's a God-ordained system. And that is why you are getting what you are getting. Not that they won't have challenges, but you can't compare that to a black, third world, traditional, parochial, local, juju system. There's nothing good you can talk about this system. You want us to come and start pretending here? Who can go ahead offhand? I'll start reciting the 2014 manifesto of the APC. I can tell you that they said they are better than the PDP, but all the members of those they condemn about 16 years are all in the PDP, in the APC now. From the national chairman who was a two-time PDP governor, Omishore, was the PDP. Who can see when you're talking to people, check their understanding of the system. Northwest has 21 senators. Out of the 21 senators, 3 senators per state. More than half, 12, were all core members of the PDP and they retain power. So they are the change agents you are telling me to support. Have this government performed well in terms of their manifesto, head to head, 1 meal per day? Have you gotten? Fashola said in 6 months there will be electricity. So which sane person can now stand with his full chest and hit his chest and say, yes, I can stand here in the public and say that these people and this set of mushroom political jobbers have done so well, and as a result of that, the election. Listening to them, you know you are listening to failure. You know you are listening to intellectual bereft human. You know you are listening to people that have educational deficiency. There's a stage you go to school. Like, I don't mean there's so many graduates, there are very few intellectual ones. There's a stage you go to school, when you come out, there are things that when somebody tells you something, sometimes you don't engage people in conversation because the first thing you do, you listen to that argument. Listen to the candidate and you know that some of them have educational comma. Only listening to them. You don't need to check their certificate. Listen to them patiently. Watch how the interviewer interviews them and the reply system. Just watch any program. When you finish listening to them, they might want to go to school. It's fine. You can do remedial courses anywhere. You can decide not to go to school. Nowadays, there are so many mushroom universities everywhere. There's one in Cotonou. In fact, some people in Nigeria, they are schooling in Nigeria. They are doing Yahoo in Nigeria. They are going to school in Cotonou. And after 4 years, they will bring certificate and the school will say the issue. Which is okay. So, people in, you see everybody in UK, US that go to normal school. So many Nigerians are more brilliant than them. So many Nigerians that go there, beat them hands down. So, forget all those rhetorics. If you engage somebody that's gone to school and school passes through that person, Christian, you can go to school and school don't pass through you. Somebody that went to school and school passes through that person, survey that person to critical questioning. It's pattern of addressing national issues as a man that has a state mind will be different from somebody whose education have comma. So that is why the only option is to keep them away from critical question and engagement. Because if you put them to the public, they'll go flop. None of these guys can engage me in a 5-minute debate because most of them don't even understand the concept of democracy.
Let's look at the response Peter Obi gave in Arise Television to Kwankwaso's, saying that he wants him to be his vice president.
Kwankwaso is one of the big fools that got to government as a result of accidental discharge, whereby this system encourages illiterates and bigots to be in power. Men looking at Kwankwaso and Peter Obi, profile to profile, is an insult. Just like Oshibajo, vice president to Buhari, professor of law. Am I mad? I will let you and die. So you are telling Peter Obi that I've been to Harvard, I've been to London School of Business and Political Science. I go and check his profile. An MD of a bank.
I've built a business. Sir.
As attended 20 years ago, he has been traveling to pay for courses $40,000. Before he became governor, he has gotten a house in the UK. And he can raise £1 million as at that time. So you know that it's not about money. It's about service. How many of those politicians, go and check their profile before 1999, that have a pedigree of Peter Obi head to head? You now come to a national television with one brown useless suit. You are telling an intellectual that has traveled more than you, educated more than you, performed as a governor more than you, is sound in analysis, sound in answering questions. You're now subjecting him to be your vice. I think Kwankwaso is drunk on cheap drugs. And that's why the North is not developed. We are not using strong words. We are just telling them who they are.
Okay, lastly, what do you advise that should be done to this insecurity? Since nobody is held accountable.
Nobody, no.
Things are just going way haywire.
Under Buhari's government, everything is right as long as it's Buhari. Because, I mean, if the president was from another part of the country, I made an analogy about 3 weeks ago, the last time I came here. I had to travel from Aja. I spent over 4 hours before I got here. So this is the best we can get, and it's okay. If the presidency was from another part of the country, as it stands now, the country would have been boiling. So that is why I'm not even bothered. And I love Buhari for one thing. I have to be fair. For anybody listening, you can share the video to him. I love Buhari for only one thing. His level of competence has shown in both the South and the North. So he's not biased about his level of competence. And I now justify it to all those mushroom followers, because most average candidates, it's not about candidacy. That can you beat your hand and say, this government have performed so well because of that? That is why I'm supporting. No. So what they are doing is trivialize issues as a result of either ethnic sentiment, religious bias, primordial and party affiliation, and them. You know, yeah. See, Buhari will not do anything against insecurity, because insecurity was what they used to infuriate the northern system against Jonathan. So they were thinking he won't leave power. So when he left, some of those things remained with them. And it was the northern governor that was saying Jonathan was killing their people when they were fighting Boko Haram. And that was why Buhari can give Boko Haram that have been killing amnesty. But Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday go win. So the northern political elites are encouraging insecurity. Buhari, they've started agitation for the passage of water bill. You saw it about last week. Water resource. So anything that is pro-North, even if it's against them, that is what they keep encouraging. So nothing will happen against insecurity. It will persist. Rather, the people that help them to power will keep defending them because they want a payback. In fact, one guy on Twitter said, we supported your John Buhari to become president. It's our turn. Even if we know that it does not have the physical strength on Twitter, please compensate us back, not criticize us. Because some northern loyalists of the APC have started saying from Baba to Kaka, meaning from Baba to grandfather. So indirectly, they've started aligning back maybe to their brothers. So that guy who has been following them, also an APC guy, now started telling them too that we so a country that is supposed to get the best of brain, use merit, is encouraging mediocrity. Like, how did we get here? So the future is gone. Nothing will happen to insecurity, and there's no solution about any of those subjects of conversation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel, for your analysis. I have Mr. Kule. Good morning, Mr. Kule.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing, man?
Fine. Buhari is in shock. Buhari is in shock of what happened yesterday.
It has to be. It has to be. You see, how do we get here? You see, I'm not here for grammar. We youths, we are just full of grammar. No action to back it up. How did I mean? How do we get here? How do we get here? What are they saying? They're talking tribal issues. They're talking religious issues. Who are the people they are using for ethnicity issues? Who are the people they are using for religious issues? It's the same these youths. It's the same these youths. They are talking grammar every day. Grammar.
I remember
ethnic sentiment.
During election, they use talks.
They use what?
These talks during election.
Talks. It's part of the ethnic.
Most of these talks, are they that educated?
Most of these scholars.
Do they speak grammar?
Most of these scholars are they sound? Are they sound with education? It's not about going to school alone that makes you educated. It's not just passing through school. Did the school pass through you?
Okay,
that is one question. What I'm saying, can I land? What I'm saying, I am telling you now, the youth, where they think is supposed to be, is the referendum. And I'm telling you referendum in the sense that there's no how you can say you want to manage this country as a presidential candidate, that the country can work. You know, I keep saying this. There are people turning deaf hair on it. I'm tired of this so-called institution called Nigeria, right? And I keep telling them, and youths that we have now, they don't know what they want. Today they will say agitation. Tomorrow they will say we want our own presidential candidate.
I asked you a question. You are debating.
Okay, what do you ask me?
I said Buhari is in shock.
He has to be in shock because why has he been looking? What has he been looking at? When these people started their madness, the bandits, the Boko Haram, the Iswap, you know, and you know these people are full-blown terrorists. And we cannot even understand. You watch Global News, you watch CNN, you know all the terrorists. The worst, the CNN came it up that the most dangerous terrorists, right? The second most dangerous terrorists are in Nigeria here. And who are they? They are the Iswap and the Boko Haram. And to the extent, when they want to show themselves the supremacy, the Iswap went on to kill, what's this, the Boko Haram leader called that time? You remember Shekau, you know, just to flex their muzzle, and they flex out their muzzle in Borno State there. You see, youth is not about, you know, just coming up, and I'm telling you, Hoha, the youth's brain is no more clicking the way it is.
Up on Nigeria?
I have to, because the system is not working. You cannot bring any sense you said you have, cannot even work out this country the way it is now, because it's a failed state already. Where are you going to start from? Is it from security? Is it from the insecurity? Is it from the economy? Is it from the infrastructure? No, tell me. Is it from the infrastructure, the most needed infrastructure we have, which is a refinery that can even balance the economy of a common man, that can, make the economy of a common man okay? In a country, you say you're an oil producing country, and you're not seeing the oil that you are producing, you're not seeing what your refinery is pumping out. Just take it or leave it, that the situation, the end result of that failed system, we end up in poverty, and that is what we are facing now. The country is big enough for everybody to operate, but as it's big enough for everybody to operate, let everybody, each and every one of us, maintain their own space. Everybody, one of us have spaces that we occupy. There's south space, there's southeast space, there's southwest space, there's not generally space. Let everybody go back to the, let's sit down on referendum and see how we can end this so-called failed states that we have been managing, we have been rehoiling, and nothing is working.
On fuel crisis, you just talked about fuel crisis. The federal government accuses marketers of orchestrating the crisis.
Who are the people encouraging those marketers? Who are the people the marketers are working for? It's a question I'm throwing to you. Who are they? You don't know them? Any marketer you see on board that is importing fuel today has one or two links with the government in power. Take it or leave it. You cannot just be a marketer without the support, before the support of the cabal. You get what I'm saying? So any youth that is coming here to talk long story, me, I'm tired. Let us put an end to the so-called the country. Because as I'm talking now, the politics that is coming now is being tribalized. It's been on religious basis. It's been on and a country.
Talk between El-Rufai and Shetima. They're looking at Muslims.
That is it. Everybody wants to be president. Why they say Muslim, Christian, Muslim? The Minister for Interior in UK, something Arab, Rabel, or what's it called? Is from you know, it's from what's it called? It's from Islamic. Is a Muslim. They never, UK people will never tell you this one is a UK, is a Muslim man, or is a Muslim immigrant. Or is a, you see, that is the senseless they are selling it to the youth and their supporters. That will,
I think it's different from that.
It's not different. Somebody was saying American system. The American is okay. American. What democratic government are we practicing? We are practicing American system of government. We are practicing American system of government.
Is it presidential system or federal system?
It's the presidential system.
They are practicing America.
Yeah, no, it's the presidential system. The way it is. But what they fail, they are not. It's the system of government of America, the democratic system. No, not tell them. What they do is they twist it along the line. They twist it along the line. The government in power, they twist it along the line. That is why, no, they remove the devolution of power that's supposed to be in
the Nigerian government.
Who else? Who else was that doing? No. That's what I'm telling you. Is whose government? Who is writing constitution? The constitution you are using, you used in 1999. Who wrote it? Is it you that wrote it? Before they said we in Nigeria, we decided to, be together and operate our system in this way. Were you consulted? No, answer me. You see, at times when we talk, we need to think well before we, you get what I'm saying? The system is not okay. And any system that is not okay, you may come here and shout till the next tomorrow, the Messiah. That is what we're telling you, that let's go back to referendum.
Give a practical way we can get back to a practical, step by step.
There's no,
this is how we do it.
The problem is enormous, right? As it is now. The problem, you can't even know where you start from. Let me tell you, is it the person that will come in now? Referendum will do is a quick way to solution of what the way now. I'm saying, let me even come back now to where I started from. Any president that comes in now, number one thing is how he spent like 2 years of his tenure to bring back the divided house, together. Because as we're talking now, the country is a divided country, and that's the signal. That's the signal that is going on now, that these people, we are tired of Nigeria. Everybody is just on sentiment, tribal sentiment. Everybody is just doing what they feel is right to them in their own region. That is why you see insecurity that's been going on for a while. Nobody can tame them. Nobody can tame them, right? Nobody can tame them. And what are we saying? The people in power, they have, sympathy for the so-called the terrorists, what do they call the ragtag terrorists? They call them ragtag, Iswap, Boko Haram, and it doesn't take a serious Nigerian government.
How are we going to get a referendum?
Okay, how are we going to go get a referendum? Is when we come together now, practically, region by region. They bring out the best 11.
How do you arrive at region by region, bringing out?
How do you arrive? How did Jonathan arrive and picking the people that went to confirm and confirm to the same system you channel confirm system.
Depending on the president to get to the referendum. That's what you're saying.
Sure, it will take a long. It may not be him. It may not be him. You see, one thing I even let there be interim government. Interim government that will be governed, right? I think where the way, if wishes could be horses for me, I think the best thing is if it is going to be a military man that will just act as an interim government, let us wipe away this democracy we have been practicing. Because the democracy is not helping us. The democracy we have been practicing for how many years, 20-something years, is not helping us. Why not try another system? Why not? Why not? Me as I am now, I'm in Nigeria, but I don't count myself as a Nigerian. I'm in the country, but I don't count myself as a Nigerian. Because what have I benefited? Nothing. Nothing. As it is. So you look at it, I will not come here and talk bias with bias mind, because the way things are now, no solution. I see no solution.
So for the meantime, how can we protect ourselves? Because it seems everybody is vulnerable. For the meantime,
how do you protect yourself? Me, I'm waiting for my south. You are from East, Sabi. Go and tell your leaders there. They should equip you. The way Boko Haram and Iswap have been getting there.
Police, there is no licensing yet.
See, as the police are now, the NSAS has even demoralized the police. The NSAS protested. So if you are expecting one police to protect you,
equip yourself without
the license, and the license has to come from police. The license has to come from police. Yes. But how did the Boko Haram equip themselves? Did they get license from the police?
Smuggle guns?
That has to be. That is the best. So you allow yourself to be killed. You find it any way you can get it. You get it any way, any way. Because by the time you start saying how will you get your weapons to defend yourself, that means you die, Sarah. You die, Sarah. I'm not telling you. I know. I import gun. You go and get what you can. It's not necessarily that it's gun that you use to defend yourself. There are other harm nations you can use to defend yourself. The way it is, pepper spray alone. There are a lot of things that you can carry that is a bit legal. You can walk your legal way to get yourself. But you asking me, how am I going to defend myself? Is it by getting gun? I will not tell you I'm going to get gun. I'm not telling you. I'm not, So I don't even need privacy, because this is a former agitator that is saying Biafra. He wants this thing now. He wants continuation of Nigeria. That nobody is that means they don't have mind of their own. Yes, they are not stable.
Where's the Amaka?
They are not stable.
Matthew's number 070-899-58243. 070-899-58243. One more time. 070-899-58243. Mr. Matthew, thank you very much. I have a Mazi.
Yes. Good morning, viewers in America, in Europe, in Asia, in Australia, in Africa, because I know most of you in Angola, some of you in Ghana, you are watching. Some in Southern Africa. Your names are on my hands, but I don't want to just go that long way calling people's name here. You guys in America, I'm greeting all of you in Europe. Thank you. Buhari is not more shocked than I was when I learned the news, because I think I was staying somewhere very late at night. Someone came to me, my friend. He said, Raf, they bombed. Imagine in this country, they bombed Buhari's convoy. We are not safe. I stood up. I was like, Iswap, we are everywhere. I look at my back. I saw the gate man that night. I said, okay, we are at least safe. He said, it has gone longer than that. I say, how? He said, police, AIG of police was ambushed too. And what? Killed. Before I said Obi or Ada, he said Kuje prison, wow, has been what? Scattered, destroyed. With what? Rocket launcher. Let me tell you one thing. I have a dream that one day Aso Rock will be sieged, under serious siege. National House of Assembly under serious siege. I'm telling you, I saw it. It is coming. If they could waylay government's presidential convoy, we have been just saying nobody's safe in Nigeria before. We know that nobody's safe here. But this time now, it has escalated to that office. That office of presidency. One day you will see ISWAP, ISIS, what? Presiding over presidency. They say, no, it is possible. Ask me why. Are you stronger than Afghanistan? The Taliban overrun Afghanistan, was it last year or early this year? They sat on the office of Mr. President in Afghanistan. Is Afghanistan weaker than Nigeria? You are talking about Afghanistan. These people are Obodo Fulo Ogujunli. Afghanistan, they are dogs of war. They are the Taliban. If you wake them up and serve food to them, Afghanistan, Taliban, they will say, no, let us go and fight. Abandon food. Ntajabok. Obodofla Ogudjunli. Iswap, ISIS took over the power there. What are you saying? These are fighters. Who is fighting Nigeria? Money is fighting money. Yoruba is fighting money. Igbo is fighting money. Outside is selling themselves because of money. Fulani has mounted upon everybody because on top of everyone, because of what? Money. We don't have security here. Our soldiers were there sleeping because in conjunction with the insurgents, they attacked Kuje's prison. The whole soldiers were dislodged. Under how many hours? They shelled that place and brought Kuje prison down. I thank God that Nnamdi Kanu is not there. Because they would have accused IPOB that IPOB are responsible for the attack at Kuje's prison. But I thank God that it is the children of Buhari. Buhari's children went there and brought Kuje prison down. So nobody should accuse Nnamdi Kanu or me or Uchemefo.
Iswap is Buhari's children.
Iswap are Buhari's children. I told you yesterday, Christian, keep record that Buhari has to seal the deal he had with Iswap. Okay, if I have a deal or business with you, when you pay me finish, what happened? The deal has been sealed. And what? Concluded, I will go. I don't owe you, you don't owe me. That's the meaning of sealing. I mean, do you understand me? Why is he running? Why was he running? Are you listening to me? Some said he went to Senegal. Some said he put his 2 hands on the head. Why? You don't need to put your 2 hands on the head because you orchestrated the jailbreak, you orchestrated insurgency taking over the whole Nigeria. Why? Now that is happening, Ibeda Kanisi, why are you surprised? You know the meaning of Beda Kanisi in Igbo land? I am surprised though. Why is this thing like this? No, you don't need to do it. You started it. You have to what? Finish it. Finish what you have started. Kuje prison jailbreak or break, do you understand? Is a well orchestrated plan by those people who brought the insurgency in Nigeria. Let me tell you, I named them same again. I always name them, but this time around, I want to tell you that the most wanted Boko Haram suspects, they were there. They came to set them free because of leaking of some information. Classified documents, they don't want it to be. If they ever allow those guys to go to court, America will sack Nigerian government. You have a terrorist man serving in this government in the person of who? Pantami. He partook with...
It has not been confirmed.
It has not been confirmed. No, he came out. No.
There's no document.
No, he came out and confessed on camera.
No.
Pantami is a Al-Qaeda member.
No.
America wanted him.
No.
He's on the wanted list of the USA.
Let's get our facts right. He wants, and he denounced it.
He denounced it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You know that.
I don't know that.
That he wants
No.
supported.
They saw him with AK-47.
He used his
There
mouth
are some
and said
videos.
he denounced.
No. There was a video. See, camera. Okay. Camera is telling us the truth more than what hearsay. When a camera catch somebody or secret camera caught you stealing in the company, what happened? They will sack you because they will ask you, who is this? Who is this? Your voice, your face, you cannot deny what camera has caught. Christian, it is not illegal to say the truth in our world. We are saying the truth here.
Let's use wisdom.
I know, but internet is helping us. Internet is helping us.
Because if they carry to court, you cannot defend it.
Media is helping us.
You understand? You cannot defend
Media is helping us.
You understand?
Media is helping us.
You cannot defend
Media is helping us. I want them to take me to court. I want them to take me to court because some persons will come and help me. Picture will come, camera will come, video will come, and the chief judge will see it. Let me tell you, when they rig election 2015 and 2019, camera, did they not show it on cam? How they hack INEC website? Did the Tanko Mohammed?
What was the judgment?
The judgment was in favor of Mohammed Buhari. You know what? I didn't understand. But it was too obvious that the election was rigged. They rigged him back to office upon the whole evidence tabled by Atiku. What did they do? They gave justice to the wrong person.
So we need to use wisdom.
Oh, no. Needing wisdom doesn't mean anything. The wisdom we need is what has kept us in this kind of situation. We are using wisdom. Fulani is rounding all my brothers in Anambra State, killing them house by house, house to house. Soldier, Nigerian military infiltrated by the Fulanis are killing everybody at Iyala axis, Obaru axis. Don't you know that after Obaru, you get my community? I'm using wisdom. Until I hear news that they are occupying my father's compound. That is wisdom. Nigerian wisdom. local wisdom, international wisdom. Everybody is watching these people destroying Nigeria.
Attack, I remember.
Yes.
Over 900 people were there.
Okay, jailbreak.
You said it.
Jailbreak.
Train attack.
Train attack.
900 people were abducted. I remember.
Yes.
Some were free. At the end of the day,
300.
It wasn't 900.
Ahmed,
So
what's the figure? What was the figure?
Let's use
some of them
we have 165 in custody.
Okay, what did your paper tell us?
You understand? You said,
the national dailies tell us
900. I told you it wasn't 900.
About 900. About 900. About 900. And the media told us that the national dailies in Nigeria, they told us this.
And they were correct.
And let me tell you, they were correct. No, they lied. They lied. They were wrong.
It wasn't 900.
No, it was the figure they told me. I saw it on the paper here. I
told you it wasn't 900.
Thank you. Thank you so much. They keep on writing nonsense, telling us, and that's what we will follow. Are you listening to me? The jailbreak, Kuje jailbreak, the people in that orchestrated that were suspects. No, not only swaps. The people that attacked train, they were in Kuje prison. They were all freed. I don't know what I understand. The almighty Topical. Yes, some of the masterminds were freed too. What's the name of this man? Abakari. I learned yesterday he was not freed. They still change him to another place. They have taken Abakari to another place, the Super Cup. Are you listening to me? It is what the media is telling us that we will tell the whole world. And again, what I see with my eyes.
Let's look at the body language of the president.
The body language of the president is more relaxed than ever.
He traveled to Senegal.
He traveled to Senegal, or he absconded to Senegal. I'm telling you that the man was shocked. Obeda can you see that he is shocked? Are you shocked? What about Nigerians? If Buhari is shocked, what about me and you? If Buhari is shocked, it means two of us will be what? Electrocuted. Because the kind of chop is being chopped is because of what? He's growing what? Goose pimples. He was in a state of shock. Goose pimples all over us, all over his body. What about Nigerians? The citizens, all of us are what? Electrocuted. Yes, we are dead by electricity.
Okay,
so Mr. President is in a shock, in a state of shock. Chief Commander of the Armed Forces that could not take care of Nigerians is in a state of shock. All of you will be what? In a state of electrocution.
Army chiefs, now you should sack them.
It should sack them.
That's next
okay, when he sack them, he will recall he hate Rika to come. Or he will come one General Kende to take over. Don't you know that General Kende is from Yoruba? That Fulani man won't do that. Okay, you want him to go and call Major General Emeka to take over that position. Chief of Army Staff. Don't you know that Major General Emeka is from southeastern Nigeria? Enemy number one of Fulani. Are you listening to me? Don't you know this time around that house to house search in Anambra State is what? They are doing their work too well because the man in charge is a Fulani man. Once you mention Igbo man, where Fulani man is, you have what? Triggered up the worst animosity ever you can see in your life. Animosity. Igbo means animosity to the Fulanis. Enmity. Are you listening to me? The hostility that started in the 1960s, it has not gone down. The hostility between the Igbos and the House of Fulani grows by the day.
Okay, let's look at Tinubu between El-Rufai and Shetima. It's stuck.
Thank you.
Muslim ticket.
Muslim ticket. Tinubu is from the south. He has right to choose anybody he wants to choose. I think sometimes ago, I don't want to quote here, they will say, Ralph, you have told a lie. Sometimes, I think 2, 3, 4 days ago, we learned his man was El-Rufai. Muslim ticket. Then I begin to ask myself, is it going to augur well to the system? And Nigeria is going to buy into it that Muslim mess us for over a Muslim man for over 7 years now. We are going back to a Muslim man again from south, and it's trying to carry a Muslim man to deputize him from north again. Muslim ticket. Let me tell you, if I could be in his shoes, I mean Jagaban of Lagos, I would have taken a Christian from Kaduna, Kano, Borno State. I listen to me, an educated man like me, educated Christian, so that we will have the, we will work compatibly. The compatibility will be so obvious and what? Effectual. Because if I carry Muslim, know how a Christian from Yoruba will vote for me. Yoruba is my own. But when they see me a Muslim, they see another Muslim from north, they will say, they are bed of same feathers. I listen to me. Muslim ticket, Yerima or Chetima, El-Rufai or whoever they call themselves, it can make Tinubu, you understand, presidency or candidacy to excel. It will fly like a bird that is just growing feathers. It will fly, then it will collapse and scatter on the ground. Muslim ticket is a plan, is a scheming. I'm still saying it by the whole Fulanis, our master strategists, political champions. They use it to bring Tinubu down so that Tinubu will not go far. Are you people, are your ear locked? How don't you know that these Fulanis, they are wonderful players? They are gamers. Why giving him Muslim? What is wrong with Tinubu? Muslim. Professor Zulum, Christian. Are you listening to me? It's okay. You go to Northern or Southern Kaduna or Kajet tribe or Chiroro. You choose a Christian there. I think understand. There are the Nukes and Baris, Chibok and many of them. Kanuris, all over North. You choose a Christian there. What's the issue of Muslim? Muslim is Tinubu not a human being? Tinubu is a very smart man. Why won't he see it coming that the people are trying to what? Scatter the political dynasty that has taken him over how many years to build in Nigeria? Muslim ticket. You are taking El-Rufai. El-Rufai and Buhari will fight like cat and dog. El-Rufai wake up, you will say, Buhari is my Tinubu, sorry. Tinubu, El-Rufai, they are, I don't see the compatibility there. Because if at any time Tinubu come up with a good policy, El-Rufai will say is no. Two of them will be fighting in the office. Cat and rat. El-Rufai Tinubu can never be a match, a good match. Are you listening to me? Now, Wahala. El-Rufai is the trouble we are suffering today. El-Rufai is a small tortoise that scattered the funeral ceremony of his mother. Oberambe, maybe Sile Akwan Ebana Akwamamia. He is a lizard that scattered the funeral ceremony of his mother. Oberambe, maybe Ebana Akwamamia. Oh, El-Rufai is one of the people that orchestrated the jailbreak in Kuje. Another accusation don't come from me because they don't want those key suspects to come and tell the world what they know about insurgency in the north. Christian, you have another question. I want to tell you that what is going on in the southeastern Nigeria is bad. Fulani are using Fulani soldiers to kill the whole Igbo youth so that they can easily occupy Igbo land.
Lastly, where do you stand now?
The problem of Fulani's herdsmen attack, Fulani herdsmen, bandits in the southeast are the Igbo youths. The Igbo youths, if you want trouble, they will meet you. If you want to see people that are eating trouble, Igbo youth will supply you. They will feed you with trouble with food. They will feed you with trouble. So who are you to go and jump danger? When you know that danger knows too well that Igbo youths are more dangerous than him. You don't know they are using system now to kill those boys. Do you know those boys that are killing there? In a boy system, Anambra, Imo, Enugu. Okay? For Igbos to be sleeping, I mean our wives, our mamas in the village, our fathers, uncles, with their two eyes closed, it is because of Igbo youths. They live in the bush, they suffer, they hunger, rain beat them, mosquito beat, in fact, snake bite them. It is because of our mama and papa and village and uncles in the village, so that they will be sleeping at night with their two eyes closed. And this is not all going well with the Fulani oligarchs. They want to what? Destroy the whole youth in the southeastern Nigeria. Iwanyanwu is there, is not saying anything. Actors is there, Igbo youths are dying. Chief Charles Soludo came house to house with gun. They are killing his brother. People that work hard to vote him. Are you listening to me? Hope Uzodinma, the highly occultic governor of Imo State, he is a blood drinker. He's the one that started military operation in Igbo land, and nothing has been done about it. Let me correct one impression here. Somebody said about democracy here, that we are not operating democracy in Nigeria. We're not practicing democracy. I overheard him say that, and I was trying to listen to his own part of definition of the kind of democracy we're having in Nigeria. I come here to tell you that what we're having here is not democracy. It is called nepotocracy. A government by a class of people to favor their friends, to favor their uncles, their kinsmen, their wives, and children. That is the kind of democracy we have here, which is why you see what is going on in this dispensation and nobody's saying anything. Fulani, prison controller, custom controller, AIG of police. I call them mosquito because I know they trouble us a lot. Then again, chief of army staff is in Fulani. Go to Nigerian port. The whole customs there at Apapa Post are Fulani. Go to Ne, everywhere. They are all Fulani. Go to our borders, Iduroko border, Badagry border here. In fact, it's escalated up to that level in the sense that 7, 8 days ago, Fulani herdsmen killed a Yoruba conductor, butchered him in front of everybody. Do you know how many Department of Forces? Yeah, in Badagry. You have police, you have the DMI, You have every armed force. Armed forces in the department, they are all called the military. They are not paramilitary. Paramilitary are those forces that are going without guns. See, Nigerian Defense Corps, they are there. They watch the boy in front of where everybody, all those forces were around. They killed the boy. The boy could not die well. They went back and killed him and made sure that he died. See, let me tell you, we are not one in Nigeria. Agitation for Biafra continues. Agitation for obedience, Igbo presidency continue. I am of the two. Give Igbo man a chance. Obi, Kararenke, Obi, Kararenke, Obi.
Yes, we've come to the end of the program this morning. Yes, a sunny day. Thank you for being patient with us as we had some issues in the morning. We started late. I want to apologize for that. I'm Christian Chigo. I'll say thank you. Thank you. As we come tomorrow for another exciting edition of the program, bystanders at the newsstands. Bye for now. Till tomorrow. Thank you.
The northern guy, man, that's the type of federalism. Can you imagine?